I was pleased to be part of the NACDA Midwinter Convention in Florida over the weekend, and I've said it before, I will say it again. Today's athletic director job, the toughest job in all of sports business. Also, let me know your schedule for New Orleans and the Super Bowl. This is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, January 28th. I'm Abe Madcore. I got home Monday night to watch TGL on ESPN, and the event had an early 6:30 Eastern Time start. And let's just say, Monday's event is what the league's founders had in mind from the start. Lively, energetic, close competition, and star power as Tiger Woods and his team beat Rory McIlroy's Boston Common Golf in overtime in easily the best match yet of the inaugural season. Remember, the first couple weeks had been blowouts, but Monday you had it all. Star power, clutch shots by a number of players showing great attitude, a lot of banter, trash talking. The venue in Palm Beach Garden looked great, showed great. The venue sounded loud. Fans were into it. And of course, they had their customary celebrities on the ground being interviewed by the ubiquitous Marty Smith. Let's see the viewership numbers for Monday night, because TGL's debut nearly a month ago drew about 1 million viewers. But viewership has dipped during the second and third week. And we know this is a long-term play for leaders and organizers and the founders of the league, but they want to see growth. And so Monday night's viewership will be interesting because it was the first time you had Tiger and Rory facing off. And remember, they are trying to draw a younger demographic and give the younger viewers a different form of golf that they can get into and understand. Last night was the best test to see if that recipe will work. Regardless, the event continues to draw some VIPs in the sports business, as notable attendees last night included the PGA Tour's Jay Monahan, Fenway Sports Group's Tom Werner, the Vikings' Mark and Lenny Wilf, Monumental Sports' Zach Leonsis, and NBC Sports' John Miller and Will McIntosh all took in the sights and sounds from Palm Beach Garden. So, a good night for the TGL, and if you watched it, let me know what you thought. Let's move on to the NFL, a big hire by the Houston Texans, who named former Legends co-president and chief operating officer Mike Tomon as the team's third president, replacing Greg Grissom 4 days after Grissom left the organization. So who is Mike Tomon? He is a 2015 SBJ 40 under 40 honoree. He will oversee the team's entire business side. And remember, we've talked about the Texans. They're looking at a major redevelopment or even replacing the aging NRG Stadium. There's also a desire from ownership to enhance the brand, the Texans brand, as it sits in Houston, and some feel it could have a much bigger footprint domestically and even internationally. So they turn to Mike Tomon, who has been with Legends since 2014. He's been involved in a number of big-time facility projects: SoFi Stadium, Allegiant Stadium, the Star in Frisco, Texas. Prior to Legends, he was an SVP of Global Partnerships at AEG, but he also has years of team experience. He had senior roles with the Cavaliers, the then Charlotte Bobcats, and Phoenix Suns, focusing on premium ticketing, partnership, and sales. He has been a revenue guy his entire career and an operator, and a good mix of team and agency experience. Mike Tomon, the new president of the Houston Texans and Excel Sports Management's Nolan Partners, conducted the search. Let's stay in Texas, as the Texas Rangers have formed a new entity. It's called Rangers Sports Media and Entertainment, which will oversee production and distribution of their game broadcasts. So bottom line, yes, the Texas Rangers are fully becoming a media business, and they've assigned Neil Liebman to oversee it. And so Rangers Sports Media and Entertainment will include the new venture, Rangers Sports Network, which will show all the team's games, but they'll also produce other programming around the Rangers and their Rev Entertainment Group. Neil Liebman was part of the team's ownership group. He will relinquish his team responsibilities as president of business operations and chief operating officer, and he'll oversee this new entity in full. So again, what's the takeaway? Well, the Rangers are being smart here. They're developing a new business unit that they will own, and they will retain all the revenue. Remember, they recently teamed with Victory Plus to create a direct-to-consumer streaming service for this upcoming season, and now they will go out to the market and sign local deals that will expand the club's footprint to linear cable providers and include some over-the-air broadcasts. So basically, the Rangers are in control of their product and distribution, all being handled by this new entity overseeing Rangers Sports Network. Let's shift to tennis. The Australian Open just completed on Sunday, and boy, it's an interesting exercise in event operations and event presentation. It's the best example I see, almost like the PGA Tour's Waste Management Open, where some wonder if the event has gone too far. So what do I mean by that? Well, yes, there was a record-breaking 1.2 million fans who attended the event over 15 days. But the storyline was all about fan behavior. And the Australian Open has been very open about its desire to make this a party. They've started party courts. It's really a booze-filled environment. And sometimes that causes problems. And there were several incidents in this year's tournament of poor crowd behavior and players really calling out organizers and fans for their excessive behavior. And so that's something you want to keep an eye on. Now, Tennis Australia CEO Craig Tilley said that this year's crowd was one of the best behaved in the tournament's history. And that comes despite criticism from some players throughout the event. Now, Tilley said they have not ruled out capping crowd numbers, so putting a limit on ticket sales is under consideration. But like I said, this is the image of the event that organizers wanted. They have pushed and pushed for this fun, booze-filled fan experience, and that can be a double-edged sword, where at times you lose control of the event. Tilley had what I think were some of the best quotes of any event organizer so far this year when he said, quote, "The majority of the spectators have behaved extremely well. We think that the crowd really behaved very well. We had fewer evictions than we've ever had before," end quote. So that's the storyline around the Australian Open, and that for them is a win. We'll have to see if they change policy at all going forward. A couple of quick hits. I grew up rooting for the Philadelphia 76ers, late 70s, early 80s, as I loved Dr. J, and so I followed that team closely. And of course, was familiar with the team's former owner, Harold Katz. He owned the team when Julius Erving finally got his championship ring in 1982. Why do I bring this up? Well, Harold Katz died last week at the age of 87. Katz owned the 76ers during that championship run in the 82-83 season with Doc, with Moses, Mo Cheeks, and so many others. He owned the team for almost 15 years. No, he wasn't the most popular owner, and he sold the team to Comcast Spectacor. Harold Katz dies at the age of 87. He made his money by owning a number of Nutrisystem franchises in that Philadelphia marketplace. The legendary David Hill will receive Sports Business Journal's Lifetime Achievement Award. He'll be honored at the Sports Business Awards on May 21st in New York City. Now, if you're unaware of David Hill's accomplishments, boy, you will be in for a treat when you will learn more about this executive who changed the way sports are presented on TV. He was the founding architect of Sky Sports in the UK and Fox Sports in the US. And yes, you will learn about how David Hill revolutionized the way sports television is presented. It's going to be a great treat. And finally, thank you for the notes last night from people in the DC market who watched the debut of our new TV show, Sports Business Journal Inside the Industry. It's produced in collaboration with Monumental Sports and Entertainment, and we believe the show offers sports business professionals and sports fans an inside look at the inner workings of the sports industry. It premiered last night. It will be available on SBJ's YouTube channel for all of you to watch 30 days from now. And I'm sorry, despite many of you asking, I can't send out links to episode 1 until a month after its debut. The first episode focused on venue construction and innovation around the fan experience. Episodes will air on the last Monday of every month throughout the year. Please send me any feedback and suggestions you may have as we produce additional episodes. And so that is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, January 28th. I'm Abe Matgore. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy. Be good to each other. I'll speak to you tomorrow.